This novel idea could become an important piece of a future moon economy. A Greece-based entrepreneur has a unique idea for moonbound deliveries, using a giant net to catch packages launched from lunar orbit. Although there are still many hurdles to clear, the system would address many of the key challenges for moonbound deliveries and could aid in the future mining of lunar resources. Right now, lunar landers are costly, especially when they fail. Rather than using landers for deliveries to the moon's surface, Keras Cosmos has developed a concept called the Momentum Absorption Catcher for express deliveries on non-atmospheric somata or Macedonis. It works like a butterfly net on bungee cords. The Macedonian system consists of two elements, the catcher and the decelerator, Cosmos told me. After the catcher intercepts the package, the attached decelerator slows the package until it reaches the landing pad. With this idea, Cosmos wants to solve a few issues. When a lunar lander ascends to the surface of the moon, it uses rocket propulsion, which shoots up moon dust or regolith. This highly abrasive dust can damage spacesuits, spacecraft, and equipment. With Macedonis, regolith won't get kicked up during landing. Macedonis is also economical, Cosmos said, because it doesn't use fuel. And because there's no fuel requirement, there's also no propulsion system. So Macedonis has more room for whatever is being delivered. It will triple the efficiency, he said. But Macedonis represents only the second stage in the lunar delivery system that Cosmos has envisioned with his company, Lunar Cargo. For the first step, a lunar orbiter would launch a giant wheel of wire at the moon. The wheel, called Oversized Payload Lander on Non-Atmospheric Somata, or Oplonas, would consist of flexible wire, with a sealed cylinder tube at the wheel's center, which would hold a motor, batteries, and cargo space. Oplonas would start out aboard an orbiter. It will be launched in a package, in a storage form, Cosmos said. Then, using centrifugal force from the motor, it will spin up when it arrives in low lunar orbit. Upon landing, the wire wheel would flex with the moon's rough surface. The outward forces will create a shielding against imperfections in the terrain, Cosmos explained. Then, Oplonas would use the onboard motor to drive the delivery to its destination. Being so large, it would be very efficient to roll without much friction, he added. After the delivery, the sealed cylinder at the wheel's center could be flipped on its side and turned into a human habitat. We need a lot of energy in order to spin up this structure, so we need batteries, Cosmos said. These batteries will function now to protect the inhabitants of the habitat during the night. The flexible wire from Oplonas could then be upcycled to create most of the components needed to build Macedonis. So the concepts fit together in that sense, Cosmos said. I like the idea of using simple material because it has many uses. The lunar deliveries Cosmos envisions for Macedonis lie mostly in the future, as government agencies like NASA and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, are working with private companies to plan what an economy on the moon would look like. Mining for resources will likely play an important role in this new economy. Aside from mining for lunar water, these efforts might involve the extraction of an isotope called helium-3, which is scarce on Earth, but is in relatively large abundance on the moon. If helium-3 can be mined and sent to Earth in a cost-effective way, it could become an important new energy source. Companies like US-based Interloon and Japan-based Space have already set their sights on helium-3 mining operations on the moon. These mining operations would require heavy machinery. Cosmos wants mining companies like Interloon to use his delivery system to get their equipment to the moon. He said Oplonas and Macedonis would be more efficient than lunar landers. Cosmos' next step is to create a U.S. entity so he can apply for funding from U.S. agencies like NASA and DARPA. If he can secure funding and build the system, we might begin to see mining companies use giant butterfly nets to get their equipment to the moon's surface. Imagine the raw power of human ingenuity, unleashing a revolution on the lunar frontier a place where the vacuum of space meets the unyielding grit of regolith, and where dreams of a sustainable off-world economy take their first bold steps. I see Charis Cosmas Oplonas and Macedonas not just as clever inventions, but as beacons of hope that could slash lunar delivery costs by up to 70%, transforming the moon from a distant rock into humanity's next industrial powerhouse. Delving deeper into the technical marvels, Oplonas emerges as a 60-meter diameter wheel-shaped behemoth, its rigid 6-meter cylindrical core, encased in high-tensile Xylon ropes that deploy via spin at a blistering 8.62 revolutions per second. This gyroscopic rigidity allows it to bounce and roll across vast flat expanses like Mare Imbrium, dissipating kinetic energy through friction. Over hundreds of kilometers, no fuel-hungry thrusters needed. Picture it, a colossal wire wheel, flexible yet unbreakable, negotiating 27-meter obstacles with ease, then evolving into a multi-wheel rover for precise cargo transport. Its batteries, once drained from spin-up, repurpose as life-sustaining power sources for habitats during the brutal lunar night, shielding pioneers from the cosmic cold. Macedonas complements this with surgical precision for smaller payloads. Its catcher, a multi-layered net intercepting ballistic parcels mid-flight, perforating layers until the final one snags the cargo. A central tether and dendritic wire system then engage sequentially, absorbing momentum through mechanical tension, gently decelerating the package to a soft landing on a safety net. Reusable and scalable, it can be rebuilt from Oplonas scraps, turning waste into wealth on the airless surface. No dust clouds, no abrasive blasts, just pure, efficient delivery for rovers weighing tens of kilograms, with potential to handle heavier loads as lunar infrastructure grows. Yet, the path isn't without thorns. High rotational speeds demand unyielding structural integrity, and landing precision hinges on flawless orbital calculations amid the moon's uneven terrain. Funding remains a battleground. Cosmos, through his Greece and USA-based lunar cargo PCA team of seasoned space veterans with 24 years of expertise, seeks NASA and DARPA grants, building on his 2022 European Space Innovation Awards finalist status. He presented at Vivatech in Paris this June, igniting collaborations that could accelerate prototypes. By 2040, lunar transportation could swell to an $8 to $10 billion market, fueled by ISRU for propellants and life support. Helium-3 mining isn't just sci-fi, it's the fusion fuel that could power Earth's clean energy revolution, with Interluna Space leading the charge. Cosmos Systems promise to haul the heavy machinery there affordably, evading the pitfalls of traditional landers that guzzle fuel and kick up regolith storms. This isn't mere innovation. It's a clarion call to stake our claim in the stars, where every delivered ton builds toward habitats, mines, and a thriving cislunar economy. Support visionaries like Cosmos because the moon awaits, and with tools like these, we'll conquer it not with brute force, but with brilliant, unyielding resolve.